The
illustrious Jabba bids you welcome.
I'm going to regret this.
I'm Pete Mitchell. He's Peyton Jones. And this is the Church Planter Podcast, brought to you by Church Planter Magazine. Hey there, bivocational pastor and church planter. This is Pete Mitchell. I get a lot of questions from people when it comes to the business growth consulting and the social media consulting program that I do for bivocational pastors and church planters. And there's lots of facets to it, but what has really become probably the most important part of the whole program is what's called our Voxer chat group. If you've never used Voxer, Voxer is an app that's available for free on iPhone, Android, and your desktop and Windows Phone. And we have a special chat group that is only for us, those that are in the program. And it takes on a life of its own. It is a unique group that really can't be explained unless people experience it. And that's why I've put together this CD for you. I'm going to let you eavesdrop in on some of the conversations that are going on inside of this Voxer chat group. What really makes this group unique is that everyone in there has a common goal. And the goal is not, hey, I want to be the next business titan. The goal is they want to reach the lost in their communities. And this just happens to be the way that they are going to fund their life. Because of that uniqueness to it, because of the fact that being a pastor and being a church planter, it's really the hardest thing you'll ever do in life. And it's really hard to have good, solid friends who understand where you're coming from. The group has been a way for everyone to become friends, literally across the world. We've got one guy in the UK, another guy in Canada, and most everyone else is in the States. That's currently. But we've been able to forge these friendships and these bonds and help people not just in business, but with what's going on in their personal lives. Now, I'm not going to give you all the conversations, and the conversations are going to be broken up, and there is some insider language. Like you'll hear some of the guys say, get the money, and that's become an insider joke within the group. And then there are some things that, frankly, are a little bit too personal to be shared with people who are not part of the group, because they're the real struggles that these pastors are going through in their churches. But I wanted you to hear and to see what it's like to be a part of this group. And so if you were on the fence about joining us, either with the social media consulting program or the full-blown business growth consulting program, I'm hoping this will help you in your decision-making process. Nevertheless, you're going to get a lot out of these conversations just by hearing them. Thanks so much. And if you want to talk with me, go ahead and head on over to speakwithpete.com. Again, it's speakwithpete.com. Talk to you soon.
Hey, guys, I got to tell you, man, I've been waiting for these type of conversations for almost 20 years. So I don't know what to say. Hey, man, this is awesome. And all of the training and everything to go to boot, this is incredible. I don't know what to say. But right now I got to go eat my dinner. Good night.
Hey, Pete, I think earlier this week you had sent a broadcast or sent a message just saying if we could give you some feedback about what our biggest takeaway has been so far or something that we're implementing right away. So I've been thinking about that a little bit. And I think for me, the thing I'm most excited about is just the amount of potential that's out there. And I think the thing that I've learned a lot and heard you say a lot so far too is just we have to really think about what our time is worth. And I feel like I'm getting the message that I need to not settle for less and to be confident in what the value that I add to a business. So I think that's been really, really helpful for me so far. And if you say something like I get my little list of Pete Mitchell quotes that I'm keeping here on a doc too. And my favorites so far are, I've heard you say a lot, people who pay attention. And then I also heard you say one time that fortune favors those who take action. So anyways, hopefully some of that is helpful feedback, but I'm having a great time so far and I'm learning a lot. Thanks.
I want to say thank you for the level of community that we have in this group. It really seems like this group, first of all, they just seem like such a higher level than Travis and myself and Dan. I mean, I don't mean to speak for Travis and Dan, but they at least seem smarter than me. But what's really amazing is how they've taken to the sense of community right away. And I'm really impressed by it. And so I just want to say thanks so much because, it's this group that kind of pushes everybody to go out and achieve more. So I just want to say thank you for making a sense of community.
Hey, Pete, this is Andrew. Here are my takeaways from this program. The first takeaway from this program is the straightforward design. Everything you need to begin and to succeed is here in this system. Following the workflow is simple and is sure to give success to the person who follows through. And my second takeaway is the challenge. This program will drag me from my comfort zone. If it was not for the simplicity of the workflow, I don't think that I would have the confidence to go through this program. But the simplicity challenges me. It challenges me to face my fears and to go for it. And my third takeaway is the limitless possibilities that this program offers. And really, the sky is the limit. From consulting to newsletters to webinars to seminars, there's so much to offer and so much money to be made.
Andrew, this is A. David, and I got to tell you, you're exactly correct. All your points and takeaways are spot on. That's exactly why I know that with perseverance and discipline, we're going to raise our family out of poverty with the help of Pete and this team. Oh, and let's not forget Holy Spirit's leading and guiding. You guys have a wonderful Sunday.
Hey, Pete, you had asked for some feedback for some of us new guys, things that we were taking away that were kind of light bulb moments, immediate takeaways. One of the biggies for me is just the idea of how much your time is worth and really counting the cost and being willing to say no, to less money because of what it requires you to say no to. If you say yes, if that makes sense. And that's a biggie. That's a big shift in my mind as a church planner. Somebody who's been a part of a couple church plants. You just kind of get used to, living on the cheap and scraping by, kind of bootstrapping all the time. And so just the idea that our time is worth that and that we can charge that and that we're not ripping people off. That's a big one. That's going to be a big one for me too. I'm still processing through that. And I can tell you when I sit down for the first time with a potential client and say that I charge $2,500 in a monthly retainer plus a percentage, I'm going to have to do some self-talk before that. That's a big shift in my mind. It's huge. Another one that you said, I think just today, that I thought was big and really good, was when you're talking about branding and that your branding isn't meant to pull everybody in. It's meant to turn some people off, the wrong customers. Which any of us with an attractional church kind of a background is a big shift. Because in my experience, purely attractional churches, they kind of verse you in trying to make stuff that everybody likes. And in my experience, you end up making stuff that, most people like, but nobody really loves. So I love that kind of, it's bold. What it is bold branding, being willing to turn off the wrong people in order to turn on the right ones. So those are two biggies for me.
Good morning, gentlemen. This is A. David. I am a little nervous right now. I just finished meeting with that barber who I mentioned last week that I'm asking to walk with me through this program, through this training. And it was our first real meeting conversation. I used the 11 questions out of our training manual. I also given him some questions to entertain him with and to get some answers from him. I didn't find out about his what his receipts look like for the year. I didn't ask him about his money particularly, but it was really good. I actually generated a couple of ideas for him. I gave him one of them, which just so happened one he'd already been entertaining, but he just hadn't made it something more feasible and doable. He was too large with it. I brought it down to scale. So here's my point of calling. He's agreed even to $1,000 a month with a 20% new customer the customer increase, and I explained to him how that might look. But I feel like I'm way ahead. I'm way ahead of myself. I'm way ahead of actually the nuts and bolts of actually, and I know I'll learn this in weeks to come. But I'm ready to ask him for money out of a sense of necessity, and I realize that the money it is even not closer to 2,500. But I did hear Pete talk about how that's negotiable depending on the market. And when I look at this market and how he's a loan chair, but he has some other things going on. But and how I even talked to him about we'll renegotiate. We'll come to we'll have an agreement for 12 months, but we'll address that agreement in 90 days, and I explain to him how that might look as well. I really do put stuff right into practice once I get a grasp of it, and so it's very natural for me to do that. But again, I know that I'm running out, without being fully prepared. So I kind of feel I'm a little nervous like that. But and I know that he didn't hem or haw when it came to the contract agreement. I believe we're going to move. He was ready to have another meeting very quickly. So we probably will meet again this week. But I want to just let you guys know, particularly where I'm at and what I guess my level of motivation and progress. And my enthusiasm, because I see God doing it. I see it happening, just walking into it. And now what I need to, again, pace myself to do it correctly. I don't even have the business set up yet with the state, with the EIN number. I haven't done any of that yet. So, any thoughts or whoa, buddy, whoa. I'm ready to hear that too. Okay. Hope you guys are having a great day. Aaron and Travis, we prayed for you this morning. You all in the family of that person, that young man who passed away tragically. We put you all in our morning devotional prayer. So you all are covered. Amen. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Hey, Pete and guys, I am down in Florida. I think I already had mentioned all this, but teaching down here, it's going incredible. Has nothing to do with a business really, but I was hoping to get some things prepared and be able to get on the call tonight. But man, it's just been overwhelming in a really, really good way. And so just in terms of giving my time to the students here, it's been incredible. Man, actually, God is doing some amazing things. Unfortunately, I am just not going to be able to make it on the call. And I was really, really hoping to. But Pete, super glad that'll be recorded. And I can't wait to just learn from what all you guys are doing and to kind of hear how that all unfolds. And then I just figure, man, heck, I got access to you guys. So we'll just kind of case study in the weeks and months to come. And I look forward to that. I feel so privileged to be a part of this. So Pete, thanks for your leadership and all the guys chiming in. Literally, I haven't checked my Boxer in a while, and I've got like over 100 messages on here. So I'll be unfolding that probably on the plane ride home tomorrow, which will be fantastic because I'll need something to do for a couple hours. So anyway, appreciate you, Pete, and guys. Everything that you're doing really is such a blessing to me. And I appreciate your prayers. I got 2 more hours of teaching tomorrow morning from 8 to 10. And then I'm done. So appreciate you guys. Have a great call tonight. I know it'll be super fruitful, and I can't wait to re-listen to it hopefully this weekend.
Hey, Pete, say David, I was not leaving that little broom closet until I got a commitment for some money today with Sis's Clock. It was so exhilarating. I kept saying, you got to get me the money. He said, well, I can't stand, half of that up front. I can't do that. I just did this. I said, hey, I understand, man. I understand. But listen, I need to get the money today. All right. Talk to you later. Peace. Oh, and let me just say, I showed him a incomplete CIR just to give him a taste of what was coming. Because I'm dancing with 2 or 3 different things here. I'm dancing with the idea about the Facebook thing. I'm dancing with the coaching thing. I'm dancing with the service, the Bible service, and its totality, and the consulting piece, and trying to balance all 3 of those. And I showed him just a piece of it. And without any of the data, just the column with the competition, He could not take his eyes off it. He reached for it. I put it down under my bag. I said, no. I said, that's not finished yet. That's not for you yet. He said, I really want to know what my competition is. I was just blown away. I'm so hyped right now. All right, that's all. Get the money.
So, guys, I had something really cool happen. Let me share it with you. Last night, I took the post that Pete put up on Voxer, and I just put it in my feed on Facebook. And a bunch of people liked it. And then I had a guy send me put a message on mine saying, hey, I want to hear more. And I said, I'll call you. Well, I didn't get a chance to call him because I was super busy doing stuff. And he just sent me an appointment for tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. my time, 10 a.m. his time. And we're going to sit down and talk about what I can do for him. So, guys, take your stuff, put it up on Facebook, and see how quickly you get clients. I mean, don't wait. Just take it, cut it, and it's like Dan Pena says, don't change a thing. If there's a misspelling, leave it. If there's a missing comma, don't change it. Just put it up there. Guys, I'm here to tell you, this is going to work, and it's going to work crazy.
Sorry to leave all you guys hanging, and the first date anyways. So I posted it this morning and didn't really get any action. I was kind of frustrated, a little bit disappointed. So I thought I had some people that I really had in mind, which I'm going to reach out to. But I started to get some traction, and a couple people have private messaged me, about, hey, wanting to know some more information, blah, blah, blah. But one guy specifically, it's kind of funny. He owns a place called Bricks for Kids. And basically they do Legos and all this stuff with kids in schools and around the area. And they've done pretty well, I think, for the most part. They have a big center. You can go and host these Lego parties and all this stuff. And so anyways, he's like, man, listen, I'm in. And so we're scheduling the call tomorrow to get things kind of kicked off. And that's what's going on. So I'm excited about it. We'll see if anybody else bites. I'm actually pancaking a post here in a minute, and I'm going to repost, but with as well the same post again in another group and to some other people specifically, and send some private messages and reach out to some people and see if I can't get those first 5. And then I'm really thinking about saying, hey, beyond that, 5 are in, but if you want to, here's the price. I haven't got to listen to your stuff yet, Pete. So if you got any advice about that, or should I just take the 5 and be done with it, or offer that, hey, the 5 are out, but if you want to come in, here's kind of an introductory price, is what I've really thought about doing. What do you think about that? And I hope you guys are doing well, and look forward to hearing how this goes for everybody else. I'm excited.
Hey guys, I'm going to share this yesterday. I was at a Panera Bread, and I was talking to this pastor about being in a meeting and et cetera, et cetera. And we're talking. He goes, well, just so you know, I'm leaving my job in March. And I said, why? He goes, well, I have a company. It's called Whiz Kids, and we make mats for under the urinals in, gas stations and restaurants, et cetera, et cetera. We're moving into making the things that go inside the urinals. Well, he said we have 10 employees, and I'm just holding us back. And I was like, what? So he told me, yeah. And he said a mega church here in Fort Lauderdale, not Calvary, but another pretty big one. And he said all but 2 of the pastors have side gigs. And, they're turning to be pretty professional at it. The one guy that doesn't have a side gig is the guy who, wears a shirt 5 times before he gets it dry cleaned. The guy who paid his house off in 10 years, super disciplined, great shape, looks awesome, et cetera, et cetera. But the rest of them are like, no, we have to go make money. And so it's really, and the other guy he's older, so he doesn't have to worry about it. But it's really interesting how all these pastors that I'm meeting recently have, side hustles, and they have to. And, it's just so powerful to know that we're probably right there on the cusp. We're going to see this trend happen for so many pastors. And it's only going to make us better pastors, I believe, being out in the business world.
So, hey, guys, I wanted to give an update. I was going to give an update and some feedback on when I checked out one of these network meeting groups. And I went to one yesterday in the morning. I just want to give a little feedback on it, some takeaways. So I went there, and I should have thought of this before I said it started. It was pretty interesting. I got one person who was pretty interested in what I do as soon as he heard that I did business growth consulting and I built strategies for people. One thing I'd say is I got cut off halfway through my pitch because I used one of Martin Howie's pitches, and it was about a minute long or close to a minute long, and they only give me 30 seconds. So if you plan on going to a network meeting group, I suggest you either figure out if the pitch is going to be 30 seconds or 1 minute. And if you don't get that information, I'd recommend just using a 30-second pitch, because I think it'd be better to use less time and have some time left over, but get your entire pitch out there so people could, you could grab people's attention. But I was able to get my pitch out there in conversation with some of the business owners, and I caught the attention of this web developer. There's a lot of stuff online. So I'm gonna hook up with him. I talked to him about doing a competitive intelligence report. So I'll let you guys know how that goes and how any additional business comes out of that. I'd recommend going to a network group, man, because it's like, I don't know if you guys tried it already, but it's like literally all your potential clients sitting there, all business owners just sitting there, people who are already interested in getting more leads, already interested in building better business, and we got the solution for them. So you got a captive audience right there for you, and it was only $13. I paid for the breakfast. I think I could go one more time for free, or for $13 if I wanted. So that was pretty cool. So that's kind of my takeaway from that. So I recommend using a short pitch, getting it all out there, and I'd highly recommend checking it out too, because you literally just got your target market right there in front of you. Sorry for the long message.
Hey, good news. It looks like within an hour of posting on Facebook, I have my first client for the Facebook ads. And my only problem now is I don't really know what I'm doing with it. So just wanted to get some direction on that.
Hey guys, please pray for me. I'm going to meet with the professional photographer to discuss a possible joint venture. So yeah, I'm here to get the money. So cover me in prayer. Going in right now. Cover me in prayer, brothers.
Hey, Pete, I know Tim and I are brand spanking new to this business idea, but I think a get-together in Vegas would be fabulous for us newbies. It would serve as a great source of encouragement. And having lived in Phoenix, I know going to Vegas in the summer is sort of like a foretaste of hell, so perhaps it'll get our evangelistic hearts set on fire as well. And that's one of the things I'm loving about this group, is recognizing that so many of you guys are out there fighting for God's kingdom, and you're actually going out and reclaiming money to expand God's kingdom, and that's just fabulous.
Hey guys, and Pete especially, just like Josh was just saying a little while ago, we say that a lot. I agree. I will just tell you this. I've been thinking about this a lot in the last few days, about the fact that if I was trying to start my own consulting deal on my own, and I'd be so intimidated, and it would just be crazy. And just even in the little amount of time I've been involved with this, the confidence I have when I'm in a conversation now with someone where they're asking about, okay, so you're doing consulting now, what does that mean? What does that look like? And even from the little bit of time I've been doing this, is learning what I mean by that, is the fact that it's like, this is crazy how like I'm talking and they're like, wow, that's awesome, man. You're going to do well with this. It's just incredible. So thanks, Pete. Appreciate it. The confidence you're giving us with all the information and just all the questions we get answered all the time. So thanks, Pete. Appreciate it.
Hey, David. Sounds like an awesome opportunity with the boat company. I happen to be a boat owner myself, so I know how much those things cost, so probably a good business. Secondly, I had a crazy idea. Yeah, your boat owner is needing of some space, and I'm sure there are probably some local churches nearby that are needing of some income. You might be able to throw yourself in the middle there and broker a space for cash to let your boat owner stage his boats on the church property when it's not being in use, generate some income for the church, generate some low-cost additional space for your customer, and have two happy folks, some kingdom money flowing into the church, a happy customer because he's got low-cost space for his inventory, and I'm sure there's some room for you in the middle to grab a little bit of that cash as well to help you get the money.
Hey, Pete, I appreciate you sharing about Peyton. It's been kind of cool. I connected with him on his book. I guess I'm going to write something. I don't know how that happened, but that's pretty cool. Been watching some of his videos and obviously listening to him. And I love the non-business aspect of funerals, and that is just such a different space of ministry. I don't think I could do that as a business. But in terms of being a coordinator, I mean, there's obviously an opportunity there. And I remember you talking, I don't know, a couple months ago, either you or Tyrone, about someone who was doing that. And I can't remember the story. But I appreciated you sharing that. I mean, we're talking a lot about getting the money, but at the end of the day, I assume most, if not all of us, I mean, we're trying to get the money so that we can be freed up to do what God's calling us to do, which is, ultimately reach people and minister to people. And so I appreciate that. And I meant to say this a while ago, Pete, but man, I had never heard your testimony. I admit that I haven't really listened to many of the podcasts. What I do enjoy, I like the Hardcore Church Planners podcast. That's the one I listen to most because, as a guy who likes to crush it, I want to be hardcore. But I think it was your first video for the Facebook ad manager deal. You shared your story and your testimony, and I think it was in that. Forgive me, I don't remember exactly, but I meant to tell you how much it meant for me just to hear your testimony. And I just want to encourage you, man. Like, I think you should do that earlier and more often with a group like this because. I mean, we certainly all see you as a business guru, and you are, and we're leaning on your expertise for that. But, man, I just love your heart, and it's really the reason why I invested in this because not only did I want a business opportunity, but to be able to do it with someone who's like-minded, and not only that, but a group of like-minded brothers and sisters. It's just amazing. I am so thankful for this. I know my brother from another mother, A. David, has said this kind of thing a lot. And so amen to all the things that he said. But, man, just thanks, Pete. Appreciate you. And this message is too long. And I'm going to hang out with my family now. So y'all have a great night. Okay, so quick story and encouragement to you guys. I don't know what the chambers are like where you guys are, but the chamber here where I live is awesome. I just came out of a meeting and man, I'm sure that my little 30-second spiel could be a lot better. It's going to get a lot better, but man, I practiced it. And so when I had the opportunity, man, I just felt confident, went for it. I used a couple of quotes, stole a couple of quotes from Pete's Facebook thing. And I was like, did y'all know? Oh, okay, I didn't say it like that. I said, did you know that 22 billion Facebook ad clicks were clicked last year? And if you weren't on there, you missed getting the money. I didn't say it quite like that, but anyway, felt really good about it. Met a whole bunch of people, and our chamber is active, man, like weekly events. So for example, next Thursday night, there is a after 5 mixer at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. It's free. And I can even bring my wife. So I get a date, connect with a bunch of people. So I'm excited. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a referral program. So get this, in the membership booklet is going to be, for members of the chamber, I will give you 28 days of Facebook advertising for free, something like that. There's a whole bunch of other things. So they do these lunch and learns. I was talking to the president. Actually, it was interesting. I said a couple of things in my intro, and then when the president got up and she was, talking about things, she quoted me. She was like, "I love what Ed said, about the community and whatever I said." But anyway, they do this lunch and learn thing. So I went up to her afterwards, and I'm talking about it. So what I can do is, for free, they will mail out to every member a letter that I send. So I can send a letter that invites them. Or I don't know. I need to think through this process, Pete and Travis and Dan. I'll need kind of your help. Actually, Dan, you really inspired me on this from the YouTube video that you shared. But what they will let me do is send a letter to all 500 members of the chamber and invite them to a free workshop. And what I'm thinking is, how to crush it with Facebook advertising or whatever. I haven't thought about it. It's just kind of off the top of my head right here. And then in that workshop, do like a 1-hour workshop on, Facebook advertising. So I got to learn how to do Facebook advertising, but I figure I can do that. And then at the end of it, say, look, I will do this for you for free for a month. And then one thing I'm thinking, Pete, let me know what you think about this, is doing like a 2-for-1. So say, look, I'll do the first month free. If you want to move forward from there, I will do 1 year for 6 months up front. So $500 a month. I'll do it for $500 a month if you pay $3,000 up front, and then I'll do it for the year. So Pete, let me know what you think about that. And that would be like a special, like, for chamber members. And I just figure if I can do this for like the next year or two, that will really help me, like, learn how to do it and crush it. Anyway, I was hoping to just do a quick story. But there's a bunch of other things that my chamber does that it's just free stuff that puts me in front of, all these business owners. And just my initial, reaction from being here this morning is, man, it is so positive. And if you put in the time and learn how to do it and craft your words, and like you said, Tyrone, and man, awesome story. Like, don't just be the guy who says, yeah, I do Facebook advertising, or whatever. So actually, whoever it was that you recommended, there was a podcast, and I don't remember the name of it. The guy's name was Stever. And I totally ripped that, man. I was like, did you know that there are 1.8 billion users on Facebook and 22 billion clicks to Facebook ads last year? And if you weren't on that, you missed getting the money. I didn't say getting the money, but you missed making that money. So let me help you crush it, basically something like that. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the opportunities, Pete, that you have given me to do this. And I'm more and more confident. And what you said the other day, and sharing your W-9, like, you don't see any reason why we can't do it. Man, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be quick. It's not going to happen overnight. But I just feel like my life is going to change through this, and it's going to open up time to really serve people and minister to people. And now, all these relationships with business owners in my community, like in my city, I'm 5 minutes from my house. I'm right next to where our church meets. The Roost Chris mixer next week is in the community, right where we meet. I mean, the restaurant next door is where my men's small group meets. So I'm so pumped. I don't know if you can tell, but thanks for putting up with my long message, guys. Hope you have a great Friday. I hope you're crushing it. I'm going to spend a couple hours this afternoon putting some things together, but I'm going to meet with a brother right now for something totally unrelated. So have a great Friday, y'all.
Hey, David, that was awesome. Perfect timing, right? I think that's what I think we all could attest to why this group is so amazing, is because you guys all do that naturally. You build relationship, even, across the country over some app that, and yet somehow we feel connected, right? And not just that we have this project in mind or, get the money deal, but that the bigger picture. And so I think I have no doubt all of you guys will succeed because you have so much going for you already. You're not just trying to fake building relationships so you can get the money, but you have a greater purpose in mind.
Let me just re-emphasize the benefit of this group on Boxer and how incredible it is that we get to throw things out there, whether it's a website like I just did or business cards or whatever, and we get ripped apart. No, in a good way. We get great critique and ways to help us make it better. So I appreciate that. That's just incredible, especially since we have people who do websites all the time and just are doing this stuff all the time. Have the expertise, the benefits of the people giving their input. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, Jared, I totally agree. I think it's awesome, especially how we may have different backgrounds and skills and stuff like that. I think it's really cool being able to help each other out. And especially, I love how Pete oftentimes says, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, and I don't have to be. I'm just the one who's actually going to, implement stuff and have the outside perspective. And I think that's one of the best things we bring to each other is not only like skills and background info, but the outside perspective. I've had people correct my website and correct my text and correct my stuff in the exact same way I correct the next guys or the guy beforehand. And it's funny how we can be so blind to the thing we're telling other people to do. And I think that is a huge benefit of this group.
Hey guys, I'm just trying to get caught up with the rest of you guys. Man, you guys are crushing it and hitting out of the park. I am just so happy and delighted to hear all the things that you guys are talking about and learning tons. Currently where I'm at is I'm reading the Small Marketing Bible and learning tons from that. I know there's so many different documents that we have that we can read, that we can use, thanks to Pete. And actually, Pete just interviewed me on the Church Planning podcast. So if you guys get a chance, it's called The Accidental Evangelist. So it's my first time on, so I'm really delighted about that and excited to share more about that with others. But yeah, just wanted to let you guys know where I'm at, trying to catch up, trying to look at the possibility of getting another solid client and helping the existing one from the California traffic tickets. So that's where I'm at. Talk to you guys soon.
Hey, everyone. I've got some cool news. I got a call today from HSBC Bank. I think they're over in the US, but they're one of the biggest banks in the UK. I met with them about a week ago to discuss a business account. So I met with one of their business managers. Went through my business plan and pitched them my business, and they gave me £3,000 worth of lending, which was great. And they were very supportive. Anyway, so I got a call from them today, the people who were at the meeting, and they've asked me if I would speak at a event that they're putting on for businesses in South Wales on social media marketing. So I'm going to be, just without really doing anything, put in front of a bunch of businesses to essentially pitch them my business. So it's a big deal, and I was just kind of blown away by it. So I think it's God just really just putting things in place for me, and I'm really, really kind of blown away by it right now. So I wanted to share the good news with everyone. Also, I have a meeting with a gentleman I met at a wedding who has a company that does social media marketing, and we're going to get together tomorrow and we're going to talk some stuff through. Hopefully he'll be able to give me some really good advice, and we'll see where it goes from there. But he's a Christian brother. He's actually a pastor as well, and he loved when I was telling him about what we're doing with the consultant training with the church planners. Loved that. So please pray that goes well tomorrow with him. So thanks, guys.
Hey, bivocational pastor and church planner. This is Pete Mitchell. And what you've been listening to is just a sample of the many messages. I mean, literally hundreds of messages that are going on back and forth inside of our private Voxer chat group for everyone that's in the program. I wanted you to have this, to be able to hear what's actually taking place, to hear the successes that people are having, but also to hear just really a touch on some of the non-business related conversations that are going on. Really a lot of the conversations having to do with being a pastor, of having to do with being a church planner, are too personal to put out there publicly. And so I opted not to include those. But I felt that it would be important for you to know what it's like to be a part of this group. And I do hope that you'll join us. If you'd like to reach out to me to talk, to see more about if this is right for you, head on over to speakwithpete.com. Again, it's speakwithpete.com, and I'll chat with you there. Take care. Thanks for joining us for another weekly episode of the Church Planner Podcast with Pete Mitchell and Peyton Jones. We'd love to hear your comments on this episode of the Church Planner Podcast. Visit us online and let us know what you thought at churchplannerpodcast.com. If you subscribe to us via iTunes and have enjoyed the podcast, leave us a positive review. The more positive reviews we receive in iTunes, the more iTunes will promote us to other church planners who would benefit from this show. This podcast is brought to you by the Church Planner Magazine, which is available in the iTunes newsstand or online via churchplannermagazine.com.